Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Millie, and if you're my returning subscriber, I love you guys. Guys, let me show you my beautiful t-shirt I just ordered from Zara. If you like fashion, isn't that pretty? Such a cute blouse. Yes guys, let's get to it. Today's video is a nurse video. I'm talking about, guys, why I left the bedside nursing. Guys, if you're new here, I'm a nurse. I've been working at the hospital ever since I graduated, but I stopped working at the hospital and now I work at the rehabilitating place. So today I'm going to tell you the reason why I left the bedside nursing, why I left the hospital. And in my other video I was talking about how it's being a nurse in Denmark, like we have it better than in many other countries, but yes, Denmark also is struggling when it comes to lack of nursing. So we are struggling just like many other countries, maybe other countries worse than us. I don't know, but yes, the struggle is real for nurses all over the world. And I think if you are a nurse and if you have seen all these YouTube videos, most of the nurses, what they say, like, we are understaffed, we are overworked, and we are underpaid. And I think we've been striking so much to try to get more salary, and I don't think that's probably ever going to happen. But I think if you ask a lot of nurses, they rather have more colleagues than earn more. At least personally, I don't mind making more money, and I don't think there's so much money you can pay in us, but I think like I would like to have more colleagues so I don't feel like burned out. So some of the reasons I left the hospital was the whole thing of having 3 shifts, because a lot of areas you want to work, they want you to have 3 shifts a day, evening and night shift, and I cannot do night shifts because I cannot sleep, and I hate night shifts because I also feel like, I don't know, like, what am I doing? You know, I can never figure out what I'm doing. Like in the night, people are sleeping. Like I like what they say. Well, I'm in contact with the patient and everything. So yeah, I could not do night shifts because I could not sleep. I had maybe like 3 hours of sleep, and then I had to go to work. Very dangerous. So even now, if I look for a job, I always tell my bosses that I cannot do night shifts because I cannot sleep. Guys, my computer had died with all my notes, but I think we had got to documentation. There's so much documentation you have to do. I think other nurses, if you're watching, you can agree with me. There's so much documentation. Sometimes it just feels like we are using more time on the computers than actually on the patients. Honestly, like we are down writing the things we are doing, but we are actually doing less with the patients. With so much documentation, and because there is a law, we have to document all these things. It's so crazy. Like I even have had patients say, like, sometimes we look at you guys in these corridors and you're standing with your heads looking in the computer, like we're not there for the patients. So much documentation, is crazy. And I get it. We need to do this documentation if cases come, and we need to tell our colleagues what has happened, and so on and so forth. It's part of being a nurse, but I think it's way too much. And another thing I think for me that has turned me off is the people being ungrateful, you know, like what they call them, we call them poor, and here in Denmark is the loved ones, or they come to visit somebody comes to visit their sick mother or their sick uncle or whatever. And I'm not saying everybody is, but there are some people who are so ungrateful, and sometimes I feel like, don't you watch television? You know what's going on? We are so busy. Like when somebody comes, it's like all about them. It's all about my mom. It's all about this. Like I mean, like I have like 16 patients, and I have to take care. I have to focus on those ones who are really acute, who are really sick, and I cannot focus on somebody who is feeling better. And some of them will become, did you not change her bed sheets? Oh, her blouse is dirty. Didn't you change her? Oh, she said she did not take shower. Oh, my mom did not brush teeth. I'm like, Christ, man, your mom has a toothbrush. Can't you help your mom? What is going on? Especially, I think, here in Denmark, people are like, everything is, they give it to the hospital, the government. My mom, you have to take care of you. Somebody cannot brush the mother's teeth. Somebody who bathed you cannot even brush their teeth. Yes, some people are so ungrateful, and I'm not saying everybody is, but there are some of those people who are so ungrateful, and they come when you're so stressed, give you stress. People, they have no respect. Like when you're making medicine ready, sometimes on the door it says don't disturb, because when people disturb you, you can make mistakes. No, they don't respect. They come and knock. I want to talk to you. They come like 6 in the evening when all the doctors are gone. I want to talk to you. How is my mother? And blah blah blah. So that people who are not grateful, one of the things that I could not handle. But I don't think that would have made me stop. I think it's mostly like we are understaffed. Yes. And I think another thing, like people will agree with me, is the increased patient ration flow. Like they're pushing it, you know, like pushing it and pushing it. They're pushing the limits. Like for me, I'm a nephrology nurse, and in my hospital, sometimes I had like 16, 17 patients in the evening by myself, and maybe some 2 assistants, or maybe if I was lucky, a new nurse, you know. Sometimes we were maybe 3. Yes, most of the time we were 3, 16 patients. These are patients who have something with their kidneys, something wrong with their kidneys. When people have something wrong with their kidneys, their heart, there's something wrong with their heart, there's everything else. Oh, I felt like I was going crazy. And sometimes like one patient has to have like 3 antibiotics in the evening. So like maybe 6 and at 8 again, and then before bedtime. And you could have like maybe 7 of these people. Like every day I was walking on eggshells, being afraid of making mistakes. And I think this is for like, oh, you have to be strong. And I take my hat off for this kind of people who are still the nurses who are still doing this. But yes, this is how it is. If you guys who want to be a nurse and you talk, oh, I live in Africa, I want to come and be a nurse, girl, be prepared. This is how it is being a nurse in Denmark also. Like you have a big flow of patients, you know. And it's your responsibility. So these assistants, if they don't do something on the floor, if they forget to measure the blood sugar, it's on you. No, it's not on them. You are the boss at that time, so it's going to be on you. So this is what was also scaring me. Like sometimes you have these assistants who like, no, they just go around, you know, like, and then you ask, did you measure the blood sugar? No. Girl, this is going to be on me. If the person dies, it's going to be on me. So yes, that is another thing also. That is one of the things that made me like, I cannot do this. I cannot take care of 16 patients and be there for all of them. I cannot do that. It's impossible. Nobody can. And I think also that took me to my other point of being afraid of killing somebody. All the time I'm afraid of killing somebody. All the time I'm afraid I might kill somebody. I might make a mistake. Have you guys seen the 2 nurses in the US that are going in prison? The one who gave the patient the wrong medicine, and she's probably going to prison for that. I've always been afraid of that, and I don't think maybe you go in prison here in Denmark. I don't know if you make a mistake like that, but I will have to live with that for the rest of my life. And I don't think I could do that. Every day, like when I went home in the morning when I was going to work, I'd be like, oh God, please don't let any of my patients be dead. How can you live your life like that? Every morning I'm like thinking, please let them be alive. Please let them be alive, because I'm thinking I might have made a mistake. Because always we catch ourselves about to do mistakes. Or sometimes when you're making medicine ready, you see your colleague doing something and you're like, oh God, yeah, you know. So yes, because we are so stressed, and that led me to another fear of mine of losing my license. Worked so hard for my license. It takes almost 4 years to become a nurse here in Denmark, and I'm a foreigner. Like I learned being a nurse in Danish is so difficult, and I risk losing my license. I could never work as a nurse again. No, that I could not take anymore. So I left. I couldn't work in the hospital anymore. And I think there was also the physical pain. You know, there's this physical pain. Like you get, people are sick, people are the overweight people, you know, like you have to lift and turn, and like, my goodness, every time you come home you have pain here, pain over there. And for me, I could see like what was happening to my body. I thought I was actually sick. I thought my kidney was sick or something in my heart, because my legs, I was having swollen legs. I can't fit my shoes anymore. I normally wear size 37. I could not fit my shoes. My legs were swollen constantly. Now the swollen is gone. I have no swollen legs anymore, because you're on your feet from when you at work until maybe when you sit a few minutes to eat and go to the toilet, but you're on your feet walking. So I was feeling like mentally, like also after these evening shifts, because my adrenaline is so high, because I've been like so busy. You know, you are working until the last moment, and then you put in a half an hour because you have not done the documentation. And when I came home, like my adrenaline was so high, most of the time I have to take a glass of red wine or some beer. I'm telling you guys, you can even get addicted to these things. I have had other nurses say they have to drink a beer or glass of wine in order to fall down, otherwise you can't sleep. And for me, I cannot go to sleep right away when I come home, so I go to sleep maybe around 1, and then the morning I have to go to work again in the evening shift. So really bad routine, and I could feel it really on my body. And I think there was also this emotional pain. For me, it was emotional pain. I think other nurses can agree with me. Or for example, some people, they say, oh, my mother is dying, I would like for her to be dying here. So the palliation, I think it's called that, I want her to be dying here, not at home. And I also think like it's better for these people to die at home. I know maybe they'll be alone for a few minutes, but here sometimes people will die, like, and I don't know, like, did they die half an hour ago? Was it an hour ago? Because I haven't gone in there, because then I had somebody who had a heart attack, or had somebody who was really sick, and this person who is dying is not calling. So if I don't remind myself to go in and check on them and give them medicine, that was always too painful for me to know, like, I have somebody dying there. I wish I could be there holding their hand. They didn't die alone. I wish I could be there more for them, and I could not do that. That was one of the things I was like, I cannot do this. This is not how being a nurse is. It's like a machine. I cannot do this. So that was so difficult when I lost patience, and I know, like, I was not there holding their hand. I was not there, like, to check on them, like, as much as I wanted to. That was very difficult. I think the mental health, I could feel, like, I'm a strong person, normally I can handle everything, but I could feel my mental state was becoming, I was not happy anymore. I wasn't doing the things I like to do. It was just work. And I thought, I cannot do this. And then I feel like you come at work, you when you're coming at work, you look at the chart, sick, and you're like, oh God, now somebody is sick, so now we're going to be working hard. It's an everyday struggle. So for me, guys, I left the hospital. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to work, like, in an office work, because I have an office education also here from Denmark, but it's also difficult to get an office work, especially where I moved. So I wanted to do that, and actually I applied for a job, and I almost got the job, but yeah, I didn't get it. And I think I was overqualified. And then I thought I could work like a substitute. I think we call that vicar here. Oh my goodness, you don't know what you're getting to. Each hospital you come, you don't know what you're getting to. The one time where I decided I cannot work as a vicar, I came to a clinic, a medical unit, and then they had like 70 antibiotics I have to hang up that evening, and they told me I was in charge, me coming like a substitute. I don't know the hospital, I mean, I don't know the unit, I don't know anything. I was the one who was going to be responsible for these 17, 18 people. I was like, no, this is not for me. So I applied, I started looking, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was really getting depressed, because I love being a nurse. I really love being a nurse. But I didn't want to work in the, community work. I love being at the hospital, the whole environment. So I applied for one job, and they was like, oh, you have to be driving out to the people and all that. I don't like this driving in people's homes. Then I applied again, and I had a wonderful I had a wonderful interview, and the people, they seemed nice, and they told me what's going about. You're going to be rehabilitating people. They come from the hospital, and there's 2 units here where I'm working. One of them, they are like a little bit more sick, and this second floor, they're also a little bit more sick, but the ones we have, that they have to be able to move around. They have to be able to be rehabilitated, to be able to function. You walk around, be able to start walking, and these kind of things. So I really love my new job. I don't have swollen legs anymore. I have very few evening shifts. I have no night shifts. Here is always an assistant who is working in the night. Mostly day shifts. Work every 3rd week. So yes, I am happy here. I miss the challenges of being at the hospital, because there's so many people are sick with different things, so you get to learn more things. But that's what I had to give up. That's the consequences. I think the hospitals are losing very good nurses because of this. But well, the community is gaining some good nurses. But I take my hat off for all these nurses who are continuing to struggle. Because for me, if it was not like this, I would stay in the hospital. I love being a nurse, but I'm also loving it here right now, guys. I take care of older people, some of them bring me so much joy to me, and here we have, it's looking like in the hospital, it's like 3 days they have to go, 5 days they have to go, Here people, they are here like almost maybe 5 weeks, and you get to know them. So these are the reasons why I left bedside nursing, guys. If you're a nurse, please comment and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, guys. I do videos about being in Denmark and vlogs. If you like that, subscribe and stay tuned, alright? Thank you for watching. Bye.